How you all doing? 8 more days before election. Yes, only 8 more days, y'all. I'm excited about the election, but I'm nervous at the same time. I believe in my candidate, but I'm still nervous at the same time. The closer it gets, the more anxiety I have. So I'm quite sure our candidates are anxious just like we are. Oh, they got to be anxious because I'm anxious. I'm so excited and anxious at the same time. I have not had any sleep. And then I'm working on so many things and trying to make sure I keep up with what's going on with this election with each candidate, because both candidates are amazing in their own way. Is it bad or good? Hey, it's for you all to judge in my chat. So what I'm going to tell you, you got to get out there and vote. Your vote counts. Get out there and vote, please. Your vote counts. You matter, I matter, we all matter. Get out there and vote. I am Queen Lily. Thank you all for coming to my chat. I decided to go live a little early because I just finished with a table read for TV series that I would be on. And I was like, since my energy is up and I'm going, let me just go ahead and go live. This is all the pages that I have from it. But I was like, just let me go ahead and go live because it just makes more sense to go ahead and go live while I'm energetic and ready to get it popping. But yes, we have 8 days left, y'all. Can y'all believe we only have 8 days left before the grand finale, November the 5th? I early voted, as I always do, because I believe in early voting. Your vote count, my vote count. We have 2 amazing candidates running for president. VP Kamala Harris on this side, and who? Ex-President Donald Trump. These 2 opponents, they both got their pros and cons. Yes. Hey there. What's up, Brian Cox? King Brian Cox. I'm Queen Lily. Thank you for coming to my live. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, we only have 8 days left. Can y'all believe that? 8 days left before the big grand finale, November the 5th. They both shucking and jiving and punching it out. What's up? What's up? Bless up, King Kev. What's good? Let's go. Let's go. So we're going to get started. As you know, it's October the 27th. We have 8 days left. The candidates are both hanging in there. One losing their mind, and the other one, she bobbing and weaving, making it happen with big celebrities such as Beyonce, Barack Obama, Spike Lee, Samuel Jackson, and the list goes on and on and on for VP Kamala Harris. Donald Trump, he's out there. He's a one-man show, and he's doing his thing for you MAGAs, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to watch a video of them talking about Mitch McConnell and how he feels about MAGA. What I say in this video does not mean I'm talking about you. I am doing a show. So let's be kind and respectful in my chat, and I appreciate each and every last one of you. Please hit that like button. Come on now, hit that like button. Also, if you like to support my channel, you can donate to me so my channel can grow. You can send me a super chat, super sticker, whatever you like. I am grateful. Also, you can get memberships. Yes, I have 2 different types of memberships. I have the Ruby membership, which is $4.99. And I have the Diamonds membership, which is $9.99. Thank you for coming to my live. Hit that like button. Come on, show me some love. Hit the like button for me. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a video about Mitch McConnell, what he feels about MAGA. Hello, Sean King. How you doing? How you doing, King? How you doing? I'm going to let the commercial run, and we're going to get started, okay? Because we got a lot to talk about. We only have 8 more days before the election day. Who's going to win? Inquiring minds want to know, huh?
GOP Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has some harsh words for his party under Donald Trump. In an upcoming biography by the Associated Press's Michael Tackett, McConnell says the, quote, MAGA movement is completely wrong. I want to bring in CNN's chief congressional correspondent and host of Inside Politics Sunday, Manu Raju. These are
Sorry about that, you guys. Somebody called my phone. Hold on, y'all. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot to put on my do not disturb. I will apologize for that. I am so sorry, okay? Sorry about that.
Yeah, and a lot of this was reserved in the aftermath of January 6, 2021. Remember how Trump and McConnell, they really worked closely together through the duration of Donald Trump's time in office. If it weren't for McConnell, Donald Trump would not have been able to dramatically reshape the Supreme Court. Of course, McConnell kept that Supreme Court seat vacant under Barack Obama for more than a year. Donald Trump got 3 Supreme Court seats. McConnell also helped usher through a major tax cut law. But in the aftermath of January 6, McConnell has views completely changed. And he talked about the impeachment trial, the second impeachment trial. Donald Trump, of course, was acquitted. Mitch McConnell voted to acquit Donald Trump, but he leveled some scathing criticism, not just on the Senate floor, but also to Michael Tackett of the Associated Press. He said, I'm not at all conflicted about whether what the president did is an impeachable offense. He said, I think it is. Urging an insurrection and people attacking the Capitol as a direct result is about as close to an impeachable offense as you can imagine, with the possible exception of maybe being an agent for another country. Remember, he justified his decision to acquit at the time because he said it was a procedural argument. It was Donald Trump was out of office. The impeachment trial in the Senate had been after Donald Trump had left office. They said Republicans like McConnell said, you can't do this to a former president. They thought Trump would be done with the Republican Party at that point. Of course, that has not happened. But he did blame Trump, essentially, for what happened on January 6th. McConnell also says, I don't know what to make a conclusive argument that he's directly responsible for them storming the Capitol, but I think it's not a dispute that those folks would not have been here in the first place if he had not asked them to come and to disrupt the actual acceptance of the outcome of the election. And Dana, Mitch McConnell was so blunt throughout this biography. I've asked him many times over the last several years about Donald Trump, the aftermath of it, their falling out and the like. He rarely wants to engage in this topic, but he did here in this biography. He calls Trump at one point a sleazeball, narcissist. He called him, said not very smart, called him nash about every quality you would not want somebody to have. But he has endorsed Donald Trump, of course, and he was asked about, his office was asked about why he said this or any comment about his comments. He said, whatever I may have said about President Trump pales in comparison to what J.D. Vance, Lindsey Graham, and others have said about him, but we are all on the same team now.
I mean, wow. It's certainly a lot, and I totally hear you on the argument that he voted no to he voted to acquit Donald Trump in the impeachment trial. But imagine if he didn't. If he were impeached and convicted, he wouldn't have been able to run for president. So he, Mitch McConnell, would have been able to change all of the things that he describes himself in that book.
Yeah, no question.
Would have been different history. Manu, thank you so much.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell was also making some headlines this week for his comments. He says that the MAGA movement is, quote, completely wrong and that former President Ronald Reagan would not recognize the Trump Republican Party. This is according to a new book that is coming out. Is that a fair characterization in your view?
Not really. I mean, obviously, I've said Donald Trump is a problem, but the MAGA movement is expressing frustration with the federal government, frustration with an economy that's not working for them. You got to take those things seriously. Historically, the Republican Party, we've always had an extreme element that has been constrained by leaders that have a broader vision and solutions for our country. The challenge with the MAGA movement is you take the frustrating element, the angry element that's out there, and you don't put any constraint on it. Donald Trump embraces it and magnifies it. And to me, that's the problem. But Mitch McConnell is speaking from his heart. And I'd hate to think it'd be interesting to watch what it'd be like with a Trump presidency and Mitch McConnell in the United States Senate.
You know what amazes me is that Mitch McConnell is older than Donald Trump. And he's a lot brighter than Donald Trump. Donald Trump is 78. This man probably, what, 90 something? I'm just guessing, but I know he's old as Methuselah. But the thing is, Donald Trump is not functioning as well as Mitch McConnell, because if he put those words together as they said about how he feel about Donald Trump, he's right on point with certain things. But even though he feels that way about Donald Trump, he is still endorsing Donald Trump because he's true to the game of being a Republican. But what Mitch McConnell doesn't realize, the Republican Party does not exist anymore. It is what? The MAGA Party. It is no longer a Republican Party. So let's see after this election if Republicans can take back their party. I hope they can, because I remember the Republican Party really being real conservatives, not pretending to be conservative, because Donald Trump is not conservative at all. He doesn't fit the bill of being conservative. He just doesn't at all. Donald Trump is a fraud in every way, because y'all know darn well that Donald Trump is not a conservative, because that's what the Republican Party is about, being a conservative. He doesn't fit the bill. So I'm going to show y'all a video with Trump's daughter. And I think I meant to show this yesterday, but I totally forgot to show you all this. But we're getting to it now, okay? Hold on, just a moment.
What's up with your daughter-in-law? These poll workers, we're going to have lawyers in all the major polling locations across the country. We have lawsuits in 81 states right now. We won about a week and a half ago.
Hold on, y'all. It's spinning like some wheels.
Trump says he only hires nothing but the smartest people. What's up with your daughter-in-law? These poll workers, we're going to have lawyers in all the major polling locations across the country. We have lawsuits in 81 states right now. We won about...
Y'all, we don't have 81 states. She said 81 states. So I get what dude is saying, that Trump supposedly hires the smartest people. Sorry, but we don't have 81 states. We don't have that. Not at all. So I'm going to show you another clipping from Trump supporters in action. And when I tell you, MAGA is all about action. All they know is to put things in action and cut up. MAGA been showing out for this election, but it's not making Donald Trump look good. It's actually hurting Donald Trump, because you got to have some kind of decency. Come on, it is election time. Where's the conservative party? Where has the Republican Party gone? Where? I think I like the Republican Party better than MAGA, but MAGA has taken over the Republican Party.
Goodbye, Steve.
When this commercial goes off, we'll watch the video.
Say goodbye to your car. AutoNation is here to make it easy for you.
Hi, Steve. How you doing, King Steve? Good to see you.
Perhaps the best case to be made against Donald Trump is the behavior of his supporters crafted on his image. Belligerent, dangerous, lawless. Giving an example, what Donald Trump's vision for America is sloppy. Let me give you an example of what went down, and I'll show you that J.D. Vance endorses this behavior. So here's a story that went viral on Reddit at a voting site. Went to early vote today. There was no political merch sign. Woman comes to vote wearing Trump gear. They tell her she can't, because you can't go to voting sites dressed in candidate paraphernalia. She calls one poll worker a dickhead, rips her shirt off. She then told another poll worker to suck her C word, and this is why she votes for Trump. That's what she said. Suck my C word, that's why I vote for Trump. She could have just taken her shirt and put it inside out. Let me show you what J.D. Vance looked at this behavior, and he posted on Twitter, which is the right-wing cesspool at this point. It's now called X. What a patriot, he says. This is what they view as the conduct of a patriot. Someone who rips off their clothes, calls a poll worker a dickhead, says, suck my C word, and that's why I'm voting for Trump. And he goes, that's great conduct. What a patriot. Most normal Americans don't think that's what a patriot is, but that's what the Republican Party has become under Donald Trump. That's their behavior. That's how Trump acts, frankly. I'll give you another example. This is going on now across the country. We're seeing it with early voting. So here's a story right here. Joey Palacios tells us about the story how a 63-year-old named Jesse Luxembourg has been arrested for assaulting a Bexar County in Texas election clerk on Thursday night. An incident report says that Lutzenberger was wearing a red MAGA or Trump baseball cap and then struck the clerk with his fists after being asked to take it off, just getting very violent. Sheriff Javier Salazar says the election clerk asked him to remove it, which he complied. As Lutzenberg was walking out of the polling area, he reportedly had the hat on again and not following the rules. The election clerk asked him to remove it, but Lutzenberger then struck the clerk with his fists in the worker's chest and face. Lutzenberger left and the clerk was treated by emergency medical services. And then Lutzenberger was arrested by deputies at his home a short time later. There was a police report taken on the incident. You see the police report right there. This is the behavior that we've been seeing across the country. We've been covering it here at the Donald Trump rallies or events that are getting increasingly smaller. How are people dressed up? What do they wear? One of the things they wear are diapers. Not making this up because of all of the rumors of Donald Trump defecating on himself. A lot of the Trump, I'm not making this up. The Trump supporters wanted to show solidarity with Donald, so they started wearing diapers to the events, not to mock him or anything, but to show that they do it too. Real men wear diapers over Dems, and you see Donald Trump's face on the fake gold diapers. This is rampant, going on in lots, not just like one speech, one person. Tons of Trump supporters showing up in their diapers. Now, you also remember at the Republican National Convention, remember how the people all dressed. They all also wore the bandages over their ear because Donald Trump wore that performative bandage over his ear after the incident in Butler, Pennsylvania, despite the fact that Donald Trump never released medical records and appeared to have no injury at all actually on his ear, none that could be identified. And Donald Trump claimed that he was shot in the ear by an AR-15 bullet, but that he has, this is what Trump claims, that he has miraculous healing powers on his lobe, he says, even though it's not where the shot would have happened and where the bandage is. So then they all started wearing bandages on their ears. Now, you also know, in addition to the diapers and the fake bandages, they also have an entire merch line about supporting a convicted felon. I'm voting for the convicted felon. This is Laura Loomer wearing it. You have other supporters. I'm voting for the convicted felon. So people in diapers, I'm voting for the convicted felon shirt. Here's another Trump supporter. This is a top-selling clothing line in MAGA world. Only felons. So it kind of combines OnlyFans with the fact that Donald Trump's a felon and the idea that they're only voting for felons. So Only Felons 2024, they take selfies of themselves and share this stuff. Also, as part of the leadership of the Republican Party now, which has gone full MAGA, part of their attire, they wear huge fake gold necklaces with Donald Trump's face on it. For those listening just on audio who can't get a visual, I'm showing an image right now of Lara Trump, Donald Trump's daughter-in-law, who Michael Cohen told us that Donald Trump used to always call her Horseface, the same name that Donald Trump calls Stormy Daniels, who he had an affair with and then made hush money payments to, called Lara Trump and Stormy Daniels Horseface, according to Michael Cohen. But Lara Trump, who now runs the Republican National Convention, she's wearing this big fake gold chain. And if you remember, like when Flavor Flav would wear the big clock necklace, Well, the MAGA leadership now wears a big Donald Trump fake gold face necklace on them, and that's what Lara Trump is wearing right there. Some other data points I'd like to share with you as well. The flag that MAGAs use is no longer the American flag. They've gotten rid of it. They don't care about the American flag as much. That's not to them the most patriotic flag anymore.
Thank you,
Instead,
Queen
what they say
Till.
is, and you can
Hey,
see this is
Queen
from Trump's
Vera.
campaign, have you seen our most patriotic flag in all of existence? Once you do, you'll have to order one for yourself. It's the Trump MAGA flag, and I designed it with true Americans like you in mind. So they fly the MAGA flag.
Hit the
over
like
the
button.
American
Thank
flag.
you.
They do
Hit the like
use
button,
a
everyone.
American flag, but they put Donald Trump's name on it now. So they take our great flag and they have Trump on it, the same way Trump cheapens the buildings by plastering his name over it. Well, the Trump supporters, you see it right here. This is what Donald Trump puts out and sells. He goes, I want you to display the American flag with Donald Trump's name on it. Like
hey,
that.
King Ruben Garcia Show. Hey, King.
Against Donald Trump being made by his own supporters. This is the type of stuff that they put in front of their yards, in areas to show their support for Donald Trump. So here's one household. It's Uncle Sam of a Trump household, young Uncle Sam, standing in front of a Trump Vance flag and urinating on an effigy of Kamala Harris. This is MAGA. And this is, what they promote and stuff that J.D. Vance says. This is patriotism.
Thank you for hitting the like button.
Doing urination on the other political.
Oh, hold on. I can't play that music. Sorry about that.
Tortured. And so.
Ozempic will kill you.
Just a moment, you all.
Or at least that's what the news makes it seem like. Here's the truth about Ozempic. Studies show that obesity.
And so this is what a MAGA supporter is displaying here. And then it says FJB, which is the F word, Joe Biden. They've also now created Vice President Kamala Harris versions of that, where they drive around in trucks with her being hogtied, gagged, and being tortured. That's part of the MAGA imagery that's out there. And then I can show you, I'm only going to show you a little bit here because you'll get the point. The Trump surrogates and what they say at their speeches. So at Donald Trump's very first kind of rally of the campaign, you remember where it was at? Waco, Texas, 30 years to the day of the Waco siege, because Donald Trump wanted to show solidarity with the group that was assaulting the FBI. So that was one of the things that why Trump picked Waco, Texas to also go after and attack the FBI. And the very first speaker was Ted Nugent, who gave a, I'm going to call it a speech. He started screaming that President Zelensky is a homosexual weirdo as the crowd clapped to that. Here's Ted Nugent saying that.
I want my money back. I didn't authorize any money to Ukraine to some homosexual weirdo. I want my money back.
I'm going to tell y'all something I find very disturbing. The people that's always talking about homosexuals, they are DL. Pay attention to those men that are always talking about homosexuals, transsexuals, all that stuff. Those are usually the people that lay up with other men. It doesn't make sense that you have to bash somebody else to make yourself feel big or to look big. Because vast majority of the homosexuals, the trans, they're not bothering anybody. There are some that may be rude, but they're not bothering anybody. But I noticed that MAGA like to bash transsexuals and gay people. Leave them alone. They're not bothering you, okay? Let them live.
At that rally,
Have some God in you.
Who defy their oath to the Constitution and arrest Americans and do not allow them constitutional rights. A moment of silence for the political prisoners in the gulags of Washington, D.C. because of jackbooted thugs in our own government. I'm a guitar player. I have a couple demands. Secure my border! I have a couple really good ideas. Give me my tax dollars back. I didn't authorize killing babies at Planned Parenthood. I want my tax dollars back.
And then they create this propaganda media that normalizes it. So here's Ed Henry on this Real America Voice network that is one of the propaganda networks for Trump that appeals to these Trump supporters who I've been showing you. And they go, yeah, you know, Zelensky calling, Ted Nugent calling Zelensky a homosexual weirdo. That's how most Americans feel.
His remarks, amazing, about Zelensky and I want my money back. He is channeling what a lot of Americans feel, not just at the rallies, but I suspect some of the real Americans we'll talk to in a minute, and people at home who are streaming this live, who are undoubtedly cheering along with Ted Nugent. And when he...
So the reason that I called this video, Trump supporters make the best case against Donald Trump, is because that behavior is in the image of Donald Trump. I could make this video last 5 hours if I wanted to, right? I could go, there's like quite literally millions of examples like this. But the question ultimately is, don't we want people behaving like adults and grown-ups? And when was any of this behavior acceptable? Now, it's not like this never existed before, right? I mean, there was always some of this, but this stuff was kept in like the basement. This stuff was viewed as being like on the fringe, right? When this stuff would percolate, when you were a leader of either political party, you would condemn this. You remember John McCain taking the microphone away from someone who says, oh, Obama's a Muslim and he can't be trusted. And McCain's like, no, that's not true. Stop it. Now you have Donald Trump go up there and go, Barack Hussein Obama, and say it like that, and then encourage this behavior, encourage the cursing. I'll show you this too. Here's Donald Trump saying, indict the MFer. I mean, he's cursing here. Play the clip.
Like somebody, or if somebody's beating you by 10, 15, or 20 points like we're doing with crooked Joe Biden, let's indict the motherfucker. Let's indict him.
Or hear Donald Trump leading a chant amongst children, saying the S word over and over again in a church. Nonetheless, play the clip.
Just like everything else they do, it's all fake. The impeachments are fake. The court cases are a disgrace to our country. Everything is fake. So they come up with this order. I won't say it because I don't like using the word bullshit in front of these beautiful children. So I won't say it. I will not say it. But this thing allows millions of people.
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me
It really baffles me that Donald Trump will be saying about locking people up and they're criminals when he's one. It really baffles me.
Trump's closest advisors and allies. This is at the CPAC event, which used to be called Conservative Political Action Committee. Now it's like the MAGA event. And they did this cosplay. They set up a booth where they had someone who was actually in the January 6th insurrection dress up, though, as a J6th prisoner. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene went to the individual, went down on a knee, and then started kissing the January 6th prisoner, because Donald Trump and them say that the January 6th prisoners are hostages and they're being treated unfairly.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, now and forever.
Jesus, we trust in you. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, Prince, a heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits release this bondage that's going on in our country and upon Brandon. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
So we just got to wake up, America, right? We got to wake up. And it's why if you're on the fence, we're at a tipping point. What I'm showing you here, that could be what defines America in the future, which means America's gone, because that's unrecognizable. Then we just become Trumplandia, and everything about our great country goes away. It should be obvious with the evidence I presented. So please make sure you vote. Encourage others to show them this video. Show them the video. That'd be helpful. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.
Please subscribe to Midas Touch Network. Y'all, they are the most informative when it comes to the election. I love to watch their channel. I learned so much from watching their channel, and that's why I love to promote their channel. Subscribe to Midas Touch Network. They have so much that you can learn from, and it helps you decide who is the better fit for the White House. I knew before I ever watched that channel who was the better fit for the White House. So I'm encouraging each and every last one of y'all to get out and vote. Please vote. Vote blue. Vote for Harris and Tim Walz. They are the better choice. They are the better fit for the United States of America Oval Office. They have the education, the credentials. They have put in the work, and they have done so much to help the American people. They are for the people. They are not like Donald Trump for his pockets. Donald Trump is for the rich. And Kamala and Walz are for the American people. Be wise. Think about it. If your vote counts, who's the better fit? Choose who's the better fit. So I'm getting on here every day trying to help you decide who is the better fit. Maybe I could change someone's mind. That is my goal, because I know that VP Kamala Harris and Tim Walz is the better fit for the White House. So we're going to get on to the next video. And this one is Donald Trump insults VP Kamala Harris. How can you insult somebody that's a lot more educated than you? You're nowhere near on her level. All you known for is your 34 felonies and your bankruptcies and cheating on every last one of your wives and your pissy depends. That is what Donald Trump is known for. Just a moment. We're going to let the commercial play. Lady Philosophy says Kamala is definitely for Tampa, Florida. Yes, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, get out there and vote. Vote blue.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a vice president. The worst. You're the worst vice president. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired. Get out of here.
Harris, Eva, is now responding to the latest insult that Trump hurled against her last night.
Just before she left Georgia, she sat for an interview with Reverend Al Sharpton. And in that interview, she accused the former president of demeaning the office of the presidency and essentially arguing that he lacks the basic temperament involved for the job.
What you see in my opponent, a former president of the United States, really is, it demeans the office. And I have said, and I'm very clear about this, Donald Trump should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. He has not earned the right. He's not earned the right. And that's why he's going to lose.
Joining us with more on this, Larry Sabato, the director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia and editor of the book, A Return to Normalcy, the 2020 election that almost broke America. Larry, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Jessica.
Let's start with former President Trump. His campaign says this is their closing message, that they are wrapping their arms around it. This is what they are going to close out the campaign with. And we saw the former president yesterday talking about some of the familiar themes we've heard, but then going on these meandering stories, one of which was about Arnold Palmer's naked body. Is this the closing message they want, and can it move the needle?
Well, one would hope it isn't the closing message that the staff wants, but of course they've got a candidate who frankly is around the bend and off the tracks. And this is something that, even though it's the end of the campaign, the press needs to focus on. You need to think about those 39 minutes when he pranced around the stage playing disc jockey and dancing at his own rally just a couple of days ago. The word salads that have gotten worse and more incoherent. Hey, how come this was such a critical issue for Joe Biden, who did not display these kinds of tendencies? And it isn't such a big issue for Donald Trump. He's going to be the oldest president ever sworn in, if in fact he's elected. He's going to be the oldest president in American history at the end of this next term if he gets to serve it. Why isn't that important? I think it's very important.
So I'm glad you raised that point, because I want to play a clip from this morning where our colleague Jake Tapper asked Speaker Mike Johnson for his reactions on some of those Trump remarks. So let's listen to that clip.
Is this really the closing message you want voters to hear from Donald Trump? Stories about Arnold Palmer's penis? Well, listen, I think that the headline that I read about the rally in Pennsylvania yesterday was the big question, and it's the one that Kamala Harris has not been able or willing to answer, and that is, are you better off now than you were under the Trump administration 4 years ago?
But Larry, to your point, I think Jake mentioned this as well. Reverse the roles here. If this had been Joe Biden that did that, the Republicans would be screaming up and down that he was in cognitive decline, or how dare he say this. There just does not seem to be the same outrage on their side.
Oh, there certainly is not. Look, the Republican Party has completely capitulated to Donald Trump, not just on issues, not just on policy, not just giving him the nomination 3 times for president, but even on something as important as this. If this had been Joe Biden, as you just suggested, they would be demanding that the 25th Amendment be invoked right now, today, this minute. So the Republican Party is just the Trump Party. You don't expect them to say anything but what they're saying. Even the ones who were once respectable, like Governor Sununu in New Hampshire, just to mention one. There are not many Liz Cheneys out there. For the Democrats, I think they're obligated to make this an issue. They really are. I mean, we're talking about electing someone who has access to the nuclear codes, and given his age, will probably deteriorate further. Maybe day by day, and certainly year by year. What's it going to be like in 2 or 3 years? What's it going to be like?
And so to that end, the vice president and her team clearly wanted another debate with Trump to really show that on full display to the American people. He would not agree to that. She has sharpened what she is saying about him. She's taking shots at her own, trying to draw the attention back to that. I want to play a clip of what she's been saying.
So you all know, and you've heard me say, look, I think, and I do believe Donald Trump is an unserious man. And the consequences of him ever being again in the White House are brutally serious.
Yes.
Brutally serious.
So, Larry, we know that the vice president is so far doing historically well with women. The gender gap is something we talk about a lot. She doesn't do as well with men. They are more tilted toward Donald Trump. And there's been a lot of talk about Black men in particular, Latino men who might be more interested in Donald Trump. Do you think this sort of line of attack that we're hearing from her is helpful in moving the needle with those demographics and reminding American voters about this side of Donald Trump?
Yes, and remember, it's young white males too. I'm sorry to say. They are, look, it's 2024, and here we are in a situation where, once again, an argument needs to be made by men in order to reach men. That's the sad reality. So Kamala Harris saying these things, while important, she's potentially the president. She needs male substitutes to make that case. President Obama, President Clinton. She needs those male substitutes to get out there and say it to the young men and the older men who will listen to that, whether they're black or white or Latino. At this point, it almost doesn't matter. They need to see that Donald Trump has deteriorated. It's one of the most important messages of the entire campaign. There are only 16 days left, but 16 is also a big number when you consider that it's a 24-hour-a-day campaign from here on out.
Yeah, it certainly is. All right, Larry Sabato, always great to talk with you. Thanks so much for your analysis there.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yes, Kamala Harris needs to keep hammering on the fact that Donald Trump is deteriorating. That is a fact. When he does his rallies, he doesn't speak in complete sentences. He has terrible grammar. He never says a complete word. He said, Kamala. Come on, her name is Kamala. He could never, ever have an outstanding rally. If you notice with his rallies, people are leaving Donald Trump's rallies because he sucked. And just his last rally, he was more than 3 hours late. At least have some kind of entertainment there for your people. At a VP Kamala Harris rally, which I attended 2 of her rallies, she has entertainment, different speakers there. Why would you have a rally and no one is there to entertain your people until you come out? That shows Donald Trump does not care about MAGA. Yes, MAGA has overtaken the Republican Party. There's nothing conservative about MAGA. I want the original Republican Party back. Please come back, because MAGA is a disgrace to the United States of America. MAGA is a terrorist group. Did y'all not see in that pretend jail cell? They was praying to Donald Trump as their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Donald Trump could never be near Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ would turn his back on a reprobated mind. As we all know as Christians, what is a reprobated mind? A reprobated mind is somebody Jesus Christ doesn't hear. He does not hear a reprobated mind's prayers. Now we're going to look at a video that they're stating that Donald Trump needs to be in a nursing home. And I truly believe Melania Trump will put Donald Trump in a nursing home because he's so old and outdated. His values are not there. He has no values. He has no integrity. He's an old man that's still back then 1896, which he talk about 1876. Fix it, Jesus. A man that does not know Jesus Christ, selling Bibles to MAGA.
But a state abortion ban prevented her from getting the...
With all the hand-wringing about Donald Trump being called a fascist, Fox News beside themselves, just apoplectic over the prospect that the guy that they're trying to get back in office is going to do the things that he claims he's going to do, like use the military to dispatch them and deploy them against his political opponents, the radical left Democrats, radical left, Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, those radical leftists. You know they're not radicals, right? They're about as mainstream as it gets in the Democratic Party. They're not radicals by any stretch of the imagination. AOC isn't a radical. Ilhan Omar is not a radical. These idiots in the Republican Party are so far right that they think just a regular liberal is some kind of a dangerous leftist. That tells you how far they're attempting to shift the Overton window. But if you want to talk about fascism, let's talk about fascism. Let's point to Donald Trump on Truth Social yesterday evening, or in the early afternoon, 1:32 p.m. He posted this: cease and desist, as though his Truth Social profile and timeline is some kind of a legal document or instruction. I, together with many attorneys, capitalized, and legal scholars, capitalized for some reason, am watching the sanctity, capitalized, incorrectly, of the 2024 presidential election, incorrectly capitalized, very closely, because I know better than most, he knows better than most, everyone, that the rampant cheating, capitalized for some reason, and skullduggery, capitalized for some reason, that has taken place by the Democrats in the 2020 presidential election, capitalized incorrectly. It was a disgrace, capitalized, to our nation, capitalized. Therefore, the 2024 election, capitalized, where votes, capitalized, have just started being cast, will be under the closest professional scrutiny. And when I win, those people that cheated, it's those people who cheated. They're people. They're not that's. They're not objects. They're whose. Those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Now, I'm going to stop doing the bit where I point out that he can't even correctly communicate in his native language, because this is important. Those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Now, he goes on, and I'm going to read the rest of this, but I want you to keep in mind that MAGA people...
Okay, Teal, I will, Teal. Thank you, Teal. I got you, Vera.
That's not taking into account the fact that they accuse people of cheating who did not cheat. Rudy Giuliani is having to give up all of his assets right now, at least $10 million in assets right now, to Ruby Freeman and Shane Moss, because they were accused of cheating when they did not. There was no cheating in the 2020 election in any way that could have swung the election in any one of the states. And actually, the more investigations that are done, we're learning that it was actually the cheating that did take place was on the part of Donald Trump supporters. So when he says there's going to be long prison sentences, we're going to go after you for cheating, he just means anybody who votes against him. Pretty clear. Again, those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences, so that this depravity of justice does not happen again. We cannot let our country further devolve into a third world nation, and we won't. Please beware that this legal exposure of long prison sentences extends to lawyers, political operatives, donors. Again, he's threatening if you made a donation to Kamala Harris's campaign. Illegal voters, there are no illegal voters on this team, brother, and corrupt election officials, those involved in unscrupulous behavior, will be sought out, caught, and prosecuted at levels, unfortunately, never seen before in our country with a capital C.
Must I refresh y'all memory about the 2020 election? Donald Trump wanted his vice president, Mike Pence, to lie and use the fake ballots so he can have the electoral votes. But we all know the truth behind it. President Joe Biden won. Donald Trump did not win. So he can start it all over again with this election, but it will not work because VP Kamala Harris is on top of it. He has to remember he's a criminal and she's a prosecutor. Let him tell her he planned on prosecuting VP Kamala Harris. It would never happen because Donald Trump will never be president again. It's not going to happen. Right now I'm looking up somebody's thing. I'm looking for Vera because I'm going to make Vera a mod. How you doing, Queen Vera? I hope it's doing good out there for you, Queen. I'm looking for you right now. I have so many people in my chat. I got to look for Vera. And I noticed y'all are saying a lot of stuff about VP Kamala Harris, that she can't be president. She's qualified. A lot more qualified than who? Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump could never sit beside VP Kamala Harris because he does not have the education or the qualifications to do it. Never. Okay, Vera, I just made you a mod. Thank you, Queen Vera. Thank you, Queen Teal, for suggesting that. Queen Teal says she has all the blue hearts. Yes, give VP Kamala Harris and Tim Walz them blue hearts. President Kamala Harris. Amen. Power visuals, you claim she can't answer questions, and you tell me why your candidate can't even speak complete sentences, nor has complete grammar. He is slow, and he rides the slow bus, and it appears that you on the slow bus with Donald Trump. You need to watch her interviews because she is immaculate at her interviews, and she knows how to handle herself because she was attorney general and a prosecutor in the Senate, and the list goes on and on and on with her doctorate in her higher education than Donald Trump, the dummy that had his sister to do his homework. Okay. No, honey, funny foreign boy. That's a name. Y'all love to talk about queers. No, honey, no. Jen Cook, it's not about her reading pre-answered questions. Your candidate can give him a teleprompter. He's still F up every time because he's dumb. Thank you. This reckless Ron Paul, oh, honey, nobody's voting for Ron Paul. I'm sorry to inform you. Her policies, power up visual, she will be helping people that are first-time home buyers by giving them up to $25,000 to purchase a home. Her policy, she will be helping those who want to pursue having kids because she would not let y'all take away our reproductive rights. Okay, MAGA and Project 2025. Mitchell B said, oh, it's a girl. Sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Cassandra Harris, absolutely. Amen. Amen. VP Harris all day. Why? Because she is the winner. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they will win. They have already won. So shall I say President Harris, President Kamala Harris, and who? Vice President Tim Walz. We have already won. The victory is ours. And what's amazing, VP Kamala Harris, President Kamala Harris, her husband is here today in Atlanta, Georgia, with her sister Maya, because they're out there making sure it is going to be said, President Kamala Harris, Vice President Tim Walz. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Fatalist said, just get out and vote. Vote blue, vote Democrat straight down the ticket. That's what I did when I cast my vote October the 15th, the first day of early voting here in Atlanta, Georgia. I cast my vote straight Democrat with the blue hearts. Yes, bring in the blue hearts. Give it to me. Yes, Ruben Garcelle. Yes, yes, yes. King Ruben. Yes. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for coming to my show today. Queen Lily, thank you. Please hit that like button before you leave out. And if you want to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. And if you'd like to become a member, I have 2 different memberships. The Rubies membership, which is $4.99. And I have the Diamonds membership, which is $9.99. I thank each and every last one of you beautiful kings and queens, no matter who your candidate is. Just get your butts out there and vote because your vote counts. My vote counts. You matter. I matter. So my vote counts. And if I can persuade you, vote blue. Vote for the winning team, not for the short bus team. MAGA is on the short bus team because they're the non-educated. And what did Donald Trump say? He loved the non-educated. So he's telling you, MAGA, you are on the short bus. I thank each and every last one of you guys. Thank you, Till. Thank you, Queen Till. Thank you, Queen Vera, for being moderators. I love you all. God bless and have an amazing Sunday. Goodbye.